Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Asaratha.
Very exciting week this week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a quick one. There ain't really all that much to talk about. That at least that I can remember. I'm sure someone in the comments is gonna be like, "I can't believe you didn't mention XYZ thing," and I'll be like, whatever."
Didn't think about it. I was chilling.
Yeah, it's the holiday week, man. It's holiday week. All right, so I guess we'll just jump in. What's your top three?
uh, my top three was like barely decided, bro. Like
Yeah, it was a rough week, man. It was a rough week.
number one was solidly Kagurabachi. Kagurabachi sweep.
Kagurabachi sweep.
Um,
Hashtag Kagurabachi sweep.
Chainsaw Man I guess was number two, and then a very tentative third place for Martial Master Asumi.
Okay. Yeah, mine was very close. Mine was Kagurabachi number one, Chainsaw Man number two, and then at number three I had Sakamoto Days. So we'll start off, I guess, with the obligatory My Hero Academia first, and then we'll do obligatory Jujutsu Kaisen afterward,
Holy, I
and then
forgot.
I know it's been so long. Um, it was okay. Nothing really happened. It was
Um, it's like this is what the fight should have been like a year and a half ago.
a long time ago. Yeah, I mean he got Danger Sense stolen.
And
There was a lot of
unfortunately,
talk about that.
yeah, I mean, God, do I care? Not really. But like, I'm glad that this is like the first time Deku has had a thought, which is pretty impressive. So, good for him. That's cool. Him stealing Danger Sense, sure, I guess, man, whatever. I don't know how that works, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't really care about the loss of Danger Sense, and I guess this is just gonna be a thing that happens. Is he's gonna just like start nabbing quirks away throughout the fight or something? I don't know. But I will say it was very raw at the end there when Deku's like charging up
Yes.
a punch, and then you see the Danger Sense on Shigaraki's face.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
So, it's finally so like first of all, I don't know how Deku's supposed to win anymore because it was already a battle that he was like, it felt like he was destined to lose because Shigaraki is so powerful and Deku's power is like all temporary. Like Gear Shift, once Gear Shift runs out, that's like half his power gone, right?
Right. Um, I assume they've just gotten rid of that because they're like, oh,
Apparently, I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, once you do it here, you're out of the
you
fight,
can only
kid.
do this
And then
one more
he's
time. 5
yeah,
minutes
and
later,
then he's
hey,
still
hey,
fine.
you can only do this one more time.
Yeah, I don't really get it there myself, but
Um,
you know,
so I don't know how he's supposed to win without Danger Sense. It's probably just gonna go to the Vestige Realm if I had to guess,
especially
because
because up to this point they've been like, danger sense is keeping you in the fight, kid, and like,
and everyone's like, yeah, we know.
yeah, I don't know. I don't care that much about the outcome of the fight. I feel like I've kind of lost interest in this war, and I feel like this should have been happening the whole time. Um,
I do have to say the prospect of fighting at Mount Fuji and like destroying Mount Fuji is pretty cool. That's pretty raw.
I really hope they JoJo it and they beat Shigaraki by having a volcanic eruption hurl him into space. That's what I want to happen.
I'm thinking this is like probable setup for another Star Wars reference because Horikoshi can't stop and they're gonna fight like in lava like episode 3.
On Mustafar,
Yeah.
I'd be there for that. I'd be okay with a lava
Um
fight.
there's a lot of danger senses going off on Shigaraki's face, and it makes me think that he is getting a danger sense reaction from the other vestiges and not Deku, if that makes sense.
Maybe. Oh, like they're all out to
Because
get
like
him.
they're probably like, we should kill this guy, and Deku's like, no, don't kill him. He's so sexy.
I think we gotta kill this guy, Deku.
Yeah, literally. um, I mean, it's not ass, which is a step up, so that's cool.
Yeah, it was fine. I think it's not
Yeah.
bad really. It's more just like I don't really care anymore at this point. But I liked the ending. I thought that was a cool little ending.
Yeah, it's cool. Uh, I'm sure next chapter will be a few pages of them staring at each other, some double page spreads, nothing happens, and then the chapter will sort of end, and that'll be fun.
Yeah, probably. All right, next up we have obligatory Jujutsu Kaisen. Um, they have not fixed the translation error yet.
Oh, is there one?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
so in the very first page, he says he's talking about how he had Malevolent Shrine adapt to Gojo, not
Oh,
Maharaga.
yeah. Okay, I remember this now. I didn't read
Yeah,
that. I didn't read
yeah.
that. And I was like, huh?
They haven't
That's
fixed
funny.
that. Man, this guy not great, not great at this. Um, a lot of his pages just feel weird. Like even
Yeah,
disregarding the obvious incorrect bit about Shrine and not Maharaga, it's just so awkwardly worded. Like
yeah.
what the hell does it mean when Higuruma throws the sword to Yuji and he says that's what you should do? What the fuck are you talking about? Who's
I had no clue what that meant.
what does that mean? Also, I think having Yuji say "I am a sorcerer" instead of "I am a Jujutsu sorcerer" is only a downgrade, and it literally was just one more word you could have just put in there um, that he says in the
Uh,
original. So it's like whatever, man. I don't know.
in terms of the chapter itself, I'm getting kind of sick of Shonen doing this thing where it's like, oh my god, look at this cool thing this guy can do now, and then he just dies.
It just gets fucking blasted. Yeah, it's it's definitely sort of wearing on me. It's kind of like you know how in the MHA war we had to go on field trips like every other
Is it the
chapter
sun? Are you gonna
to
talk about the
go
Sunnygre
see.
thing?
Well, it's like every time we had to go see some random person and they're
Yeah.
like having their own little thing. It feels very much like that where like uh-oh, now it's Kashima's turn to get fucking low diffed by Sukuna. Oh, now it's Higuruma's turn to get low diffed by Sukuna. It's like okay, are we just gonna
I
go through the cast one by one?
I just find it generally hard to be excited about a character dying in JJK. It just doesn't feel good. It hasn't felt good in a very long time.
Well, JJK like even on like Twitter I'm seeing it starting to get made fun of for this is that it's like just like the Doom Spot Jack Off series where it's just like, oh, everything's so sad and dark all the time, and it's like it's hard to take it seriously because there's nothing to balance it out. You know, it's
Like,
like people came in, Gojo came back, and we didn't even get to like have any excitement that he was back because immediately he just went to the fight and then died. And then it's like, oh, Kashimo jumped in, oh, Kashima's dead. Oh, Higuruma jumped in, oh, Higuruma's dead. It's like,
Higorama, like losing Higorama is absurd because he's like one of the only characters introduced post Shibuya that stuck around and is actually like fun and cool
yeah,
and
that
good.
people like enjoy seeing.
And now
Um,
he's just dead.
Yep, no, he's just dead. He didn't really accomplish anything. He got his one chapter of glazing. Oh, this guy's as tough as Gojo, and then died immediately. Um, and I just don't know how to. Sukuna is kind of coming off silly, like almost a little comical after a while, where it's like, oh, you thought you got me in the hand, but I cut my hand off because I'm a silly little guy. I could have just killed you, but instead I let you cut my hand and then cut it off just to fuck with you because I'm a silly little guy. And it's like, I don't know, man. And it's like every chapter is a cliffhanger of, oh my
Yeah, I was
God,
gonna
did we
say.
get him? Did we finally get him? And it's like, no, I know you didn't get him. Like,
Yeah,
obviously,
I
because
was gonna
you've
say
done this bait and switch 10 times.
this cliffhanger is gonna feel real bad in a week probably. I mean, I
Yeah,
could be wrong, but
when the chapter comes out and literally all that happens is like Sukuna sidesteps that shit, it's gonna feel really awful. Um, it would be cool if it actually worked and we actually got a little bit of like positive moment here. Um, but man,
he's gonna stab him. He's gonna stab him, and it's gonna be revealed just like how Sukuna has 4 arms. He also has 2 hearts, and only one of his hearts dies.
I uh, I saw one person go like they're gonna stab him, but remember that Sukuna still has the one finger that he hasn't eaten, so he's not gonna die because they have to find that
Oh
finger
my
and kill that
god!
finger for him to actually die.
I think I saw someone coping in my Discord that the one finger left is gonna be used for Nobara to come back and like hit
How
the
would that
finger
even?
and use like her resonance or whatever to hit Sukuna.
Oh, to hit? Yeah, I don't think so. I sure don't think so, buddy. Um,
Yeah, I appreciate the attempt though.
yeah, I almost wonder like what the finger is going to be for because he did make a point to specify that there's still one out there
Y-
somewhere. Um, so I don't even really know what that's going to be for. Like I don't even really know how it works, because like, what if someone else eats that? Is there a second Sukuna now, just in there?
Probably, right? Like, don't we
Because
just
it's
start
part of
this
his
up again?
soul,
We should
right?
probably figure that out. We should probably get that.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that like this definitely feels like it's the end. Like they're gonna
Yeah.
beat Sukuna and then it's just gonna be more or less over. Kenjaku will get like a weird comeback after this ends and he'll be some kind of monster thing. And I don't know. Uh, I'm just very tired of like the whole formula. It feels very formulaic. Character comes in, gets hyped up, dies instantly because he wasn't all that. Uh,
This is
I
like
don't know.
MHA literally had a meme made because it was like, oh, hey, AFO starts to win and then a character comes back after being gone for a long time. With
Oh yeah,
JJK,
I
it's
remember
like,
that one. Oh my God,
yeah,
you're here.
yeah. With JJK, it's like Sukuna kills someone and then the chapter ends with, oh my god, we're really gonna get him, and then Sukuna kills someone.
Yeah, it's like Sukuna kills somebody. Chapter ends with next person jumping in. Next chapter, Sukuna kills somebody, and then yeah, I don't know. And like, I don't even know if Takaba is still alive. I guess he is. I don't know, but
Yuji's
he's
just fucked, right? By the way, he's just fucked.
he,
Like,
I don't even know how to like interpret Yuji anymore because this dude got half of his chest like blown out, and he's still just like there fighting. And I don't know if he's fighting with half of his chest missing or if he just can heal
I
because it
feel
seems like
like
he can just heal.
I feel like the way Gege drew it looked a little sensationalized. I don't think he actually got half his chest blown out. I think he just got like scratched up in the same way that he survived Sukuna's slashes earlier. But also, Sukuna's supposed to be more powerful, right? So like, shouldn't he have slashed his chest out? I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, it's also kind of tiring, right? Of like Sukuna could probably just kill everybody here, and because it's a manga, the main character can't die, so like he has to not kill him. But also, why wouldn't you have just killed him right there, right? Like Sukuna's whole thing is like, I fucking hate this kid. This kid's a loser. Fuck this kid. But I'm only going to injure him a little, and then I'm gonna leave. Like why? Why? I don't know. It's hard to take it seriously. It's just like Sukuna playing with his food every chapter. While Gege is like, yeah, this dude's so cool.
This is this just feels like AFO. You know how AFO was like rewinding the entire time and then just like kept sitting around fucking around and then it killed him?
Yeah, I mean, there's no like time limit here, so there's not really any
Yeah.
reason for Sukuna like not to,
Well,
I
the time
guess.
the time limit is the manga ending. to make
Well,
that more
yeah, okay,
sense.
okay, that's true. We're rapidly rewinding to the end
Yeah.
of the series. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's hard for me to care that much about like whenever they
it
say, "Oh, here comes this character who's gonna do XYZ thing," because it's like, no, he's not. He's gonna get
it
blasted,
feels
and
it
it's
feels bad to compare him to AFO because I don't think he's nearly as bad as AFO, but
no, I don't think he's as bad as
yeah.
AFO got either.
That's
But
just
it's
that's just
it's
the
just
impression
tiring.
I felt.
It's just very tiring.
Man,
All right, well,
Higurashi shouldn't be gone.
yeah, especially in one chapter, right? Like, if you wanted to have Higuruma fight and the whole plan, I already think it's stupid that his domain didn't work because of the stupid tool thing. That's already dumb.
No, it's
Because
gas.
that means that thing literally existed only for the purpose of that one thing, and then it's never
Yes.
gonna come back. Uh, but like I don't really get the point of throwing him into this fight and then like having this plan where everyone's gonna jump Sukuna and then Sukuna just runs away in like 2 pages.
That'd be fire.
Well, that's what he did. Is he's like, he like donutted Chozo real quick and launched him into the
Oh,
sun.
that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then he just ran. And then now it's a one-on-one fight. Like, why wouldn't you just draw everyone fighting him for a little bit? At least, like, let some of this breathe.
Oh, I guess we should also mention that there are people speculating that where is it? What page was it on?
Oh, when he
Uh,
slaps the piercing blood.
yeah, people were saying that was Yuji, and he has piercing blood now.
I think that it's very likely that Yuji has blood manipulation because of that page where he's like, "Thanks for teaching me, Kamo,"
Yeah.
because Chozo can't teach for shit. Because what else would they both be teaching him other than blood manipulation?
And maybe this is weird, but I feel like if it was Chozo, he would have shown Chozo doing it. No.
Maybe. What I don't get is again the terrible translation on it. Why is Sukuna thinking in parentheses, like to his own
I
thoughts?
yeah, I
Like,
thought that too.
what are you talking about? And like why would you even need to specify? Oh, it's the death painting womb parentheses the older brother.
Yeah,
We fucking
there's
know who you're
one
talking
dude.
about.
There's one.
There's one guy who fits that description. You don't need to specify.
I
Um,
feel like I feel like the fact that Sukuna was said like I feel like the fact that he had to explicitly think this must be from him. That if it's probably not him, right? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
I think that it's probably from Yuji for a couple reasons. One, the big torso wound that otherwise left him fine but bleeding.
Yeah.
Two, the fact that he made a point to show Sukuna one shot Choso for no reason. Like Choso barely did anything, and he just got like gutted and
Chozo was like,
tossed.
"Hey guys, what's up?" But then he got punched in
Yeah,
half and
it's
shit.
like yeah, remember it's like when Cell comes back in Dragon Ball and Trunks just
Yeah.
catches a stray right there for no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that. And I feel like you wouldn't put that in there if you didn't want everyone to know, oh hey, Choso is pretty out of commission right now. Um, but also it feels like not a very worthwhile reveal to like hide because we are everyone kind of already
True.
knows, right? Like
I guess yeah.
you haven't been very subtle about the fact that Yuji has new stuff, and you've been very unsubtle about the fact that it's probably blood manipulation. So I don't know. Then again, he's been sitting here fighting with those crazy Power Ranger arms, and we still don't know what that shit does either. So
I'm assuming we're gonna find out soon because it's just him and Sukuna right now until somebody else shows up and dies, right?
yeah, I mean, I guess Kusakabe is probably going to show up soon and die, or Choso is actually there. One of the two. That actually was Choso. I don't know. Um,
Chozo is bleeding out right
well,
now
he
on the
he
fucking
can't
concrete.
bleed out because of his he can't die from blood loss.
It's
So
JJK. Life will find a way.
that's true. They'll be like, oh, Sukuna is so cool that his wounds bypass Choso's
Yeah,
inability to die from blood loss.
he hit Chozo with erasure and disabled his his curse tech.
Disabled his curse technique at the last minute. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. Higuruma dying feels really bad. Um, I get nothing out of this. It feels kind of crappy also to compare him to Nanami, who Yuji actually had like a lot of on-screen development and
Yeah,
time with to like value as a mentor, versus
yeah,
Higuruma, who like we got a chapter of them talking in a flashback. So it's like, that feels kind of bad.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I think it's I think we said this about Horikoshi as well, but I think it's pretty clear that he wants this to be done. He's ready to stop.
I I think the main difference with Horikoshi that I realized after the final war reign for a while is that Horikoshi didn't want to he didn't want to rush till completion. He wanted to rush to get to the final arc because he had a bunch of cool stuff that he had in his head. And then he got there
Yeah,
and then he was like, "Fuck."
yeah. Uh-oh, what do I do with all of this now? Yeah, how do I make it
Yeah,
all work?
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't love the JJK chapter. I didn't think it was like terrible because it was still like fine. Cool
I
stuff
didn't.
happened in it,
I didn't like it. I don't
but
like
I
Higurama
didn't
dying.
much care for. Yeah, Higuruma's death feels pretty bad. Um, the fight itself was cool, but I wish you would stop doing cool things for like 30 seconds and then moving on. But I don't know. We'll see. I think this chapter how it feels to me is going to matter very much based on how next chapter plays out. Like if next
Yeah,
chapter
that's
plays
fair.
out well, I think this one could retroactively be better. But right now, I'm not digging too hard on it.
Man, no, the sword is gonna kill Megumi.
I put Megumi's soul in the front. Listen,
Takes another L. Man, Megumi got fucked over, bro. It's crazy.
my assumption. So I saw an interesting theory on Twitter that was like, actually, Megumi's not going to fight anymore. He's not going to do anything anymore. Um, and basically like the way that the series is going to end is that he's going to more or less be freed from the expectations of like Jujutsu society.
Yeah.
He's just going to be like a guy. I don't know how it's going to work because he's 16 with no money and no family, but ignoring all of that, I think that's like an okay ending because he never really got a choice to
Yeah.
be like he was going to be a sorcerer no matter what. He never really had any say in that. His
Mhm.
all that
That's a cool
stuff.
idea, yeah.
And so kind of freeing him and giving him his own life would be an interesting way. And the theory, of course, also requires that Yuji will die, so he'll like sacrifice himself
Oh yeah.
to give Megami a second shot at life. And I think that would be interesting. But the way that this is playing out, at least to me, feels like, and this may be just complete random guessing, but I feel like the sword is gonna hit. Sukuna and Megami are gonna be like split apart or whatever by it, and
Mm.
then we're gonna get comatose Megami for a while it turns out that there's the other finger. Kenjaku did some shit and had it and brought Sukuna back in another body or whatever or some shit. Um, and then we're gonna end up with like comatose Megami is gonna wake up in the Stinger for a chapter in the future, and it's gonna be like him and Yuji versus Sukuna at the end.
Yeah, I got nothing, man. I don't know. I don't know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
yeah, it's just it's hard to say because it could literally just end with Sukuna continuing to clap people one by one until there's nobody
Yeah.
left. That would be an interesting way to end the series. Oh, Jujutsu Society is gone because Sukuna slowly killed them all one by one in fights, and then that was just it. And then Sukuna also somehow dies, and that's just the whole thing. Hey,
All right.
where's Maki?
She fucking bounced, bro. She's like,
Wouldn't it have been
I
good for
don't.
Maki to show up at some point?
She's like, I don't want to deal with this
I don't want
shit.
to
I gotta.
fight this fucking guy again.
Maki left. Meanwhile, Yuta is like walking across fucking prefecture lines right now to get to the fight. He's like,
Yeah, Yuta's like
he's getting
sprinting back
attacked.
with Takava on his shoulders. Like, yeah, I just don't. Why are you letting? You know how when Higuruma like gets punched away by Sukuna, and then
Yeah.
uh, Kusakabe is like, Yuji, go after them. Don't let him get Higuruma alone. You know who would have been really useful right there? Maki.
I have a feeling we'll probably find out shortly what she's doing. Maybe she'll be the next one that comes in and dies. To
Oh
Sukuna.
yeah, like and once the sword fails, he'll go to
Yeah.
kill Yuji, and Maki will block the hit or something, and then she'll die shortly
Yeah, and
after.
then they'll fight for a few pages, and then Sukuna will be like, "I'll never forget you for as long as I live." Maki's ending, and then she'll get cut in half.
Well, I feel like she's gonna end up like jumping in because they made a point in the Naoya fight to be like, oh, domain expansion treats her like an inanimate object because she doesn't have any
Yeah,
cursed energy. But
yeah.
then they also made a point in Shibuya to be like, oh, but Sukuna's domain can actually target inanimate objects. So I feel like they're gonna do something with that. She's gonna be like, I'm immune to domain expansion, and then Sukuna's gonna be like,
Oh
oh,
my
but not mine
god.
specifically. And so
If
she's gonna get
that's
diced up by Shrine.
if you're right, if that's correct, that is fucking
it's
hilarious. It is
it's just
probably
weird. It's just weird wording to not be connected, right? Like it feels
oh,
connected.
that's deranged.
Like I feel like it's gonna happen because like they're gonna tell her, oh, you don't get impacted by domain expansion because you have
Oh
no
my
cursed energy, so
god.
you should
Just
hold
I
back.
can imagine it now, dude. Like
Yeah,
he
they're gonna be like, oh, you're
like
our secret weapon if he
like
uses the
Maki
shrine again.
yeah, Maki comes in and I'm not gonna say like puts him on the ropes or anything because it's Sakuna, but like he's like, wow, I actually didn't think that would be difficult. And then he just like domain expansions and then she's like, huh, joke's on you. I don't get targeted by it, and then she just dies mid
I
sentence.
I think it's gonna be even like less than that. With the speed that people are dying, I literally think it's gonna be like he's gonna open Shrine, and the stinger for the chapter is gonna be Maki like jumping in, and it's like, oh shit, there's Maki, and then the beginning of the next chapter is just gonna be her in the airport talking to Mai. Like,
Fucking airport shit is so funny, man.
I don't know, man. We'll see.
All right,
Anyway, let's go on to the ones that we actually liked
I
this
was gonna
week.
say yeah, let's move on. I haven't eaten in 16 hours, bro. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it pushing.
All right. So then your number three was Martial Master, so we'll start with Martial Master Asumi.
It is my number three, however, I don't have that much to say about it.
I don't either. I thought it was okay. I kind of liked the
I
dynamic with
liked the
these two,
fight
but
at least. I
yeah,
thought the now fight was cool. I liked her tossing a couple of rounds to understand what you're up against, just so like she could fucking destroy you after that. That was pretty raw. I'm interested in the fight that's coming. You know, he shaved his head. That's shit's getting real, and that's about it.
yeah. I enjoy this guy's art. I think his combat art's really cool. I like the way that
Yeah.
he has the anatomy and everything. I did like the idea, her whole thing of like I'm gonna lose rounds on purpose to try to figure out what I'm doing. I thought
Mhm.
the fencing thing was kind of weird. That felt a little strange. Like, oh, actually, she's a fencer, so she's gonna box like it's fencing. Um, but it was fine. I didn't love it, and I'm also very wary of the fact that this is probably going to be in the can in the next few weeks. Um,
Why would you say that to me
I'm just saying,
when
man.
I'm right
You know
here?
it's bad when the author resorts to the foot cover just to try to get some
Oh
volumes to
yeah.
sell. You know it's bad.
Yeah. Oh, this is a tangent, not even about MMA. Do you agree with people that Mama Yu is about to get canned, like shortly?
Um, I don't know. I've seen people say that, but I've seen them saying the same thing about Kagurabachi. Like, oh,
You see,
because this fight was so fast, that means it's going to be canceled in the next couple weeks, and I don't know.
before I read the chapters about Mama E, all I saw was like people going like, "Oh, it's over." Then I read it and I was like, "Wait, that's it? That's like
Yeah, I don't know.
that's not
I
even
guess it's
close
just
to like
because like the bad guys right there.
it's not even close to what Fabricant got, bro."
No, 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 it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't really. I guess I can see people saying like, oh, they're setting up for a confrontation with the guy like right now. Which
Yeah.
maybe, but they could also be setting up for just a future one, right? Like this doesn't have to have an immediate resolution to it.
Hmm.
The whole like the girl's gone or whatever, and we got to go get her back or whatever.
Hmm.
That doesn't need to have an immediate right now resolution. I don't know that it's like that big of a red flag. Like thinking back
I
on
mean,
other series that got
yeah.
canceled, like Candy Flurry, which is literally like in the middle of a fight, the main bad
Yeah.
guy just showed up and was like, "I'm here too now," and they fought, and that was it.
I mean, I guess we'll find out, but that didn't give me like, oh, we're impending doom vibes, you know?
Yeah, no, no, I didn't read it and immediately think like, "Oh, this is getting canceled in a month,
Yeah.
tops." Like, I think I can see the line of logic there. It just wasn't
Hmm.
as severe to me as I think a lot of people are taking it as.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great MMA section anyway. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing to say about it. She won the fight, and
yeah, it
that's
was
fine.
cool.
It was cool. She won the fight. I like her as a character more than him probably, but yeah, whatever. All right. So next up, I mean, my number three is very similar. It was just my number three because it was cool, and being cool moves
Yeah.
me because I'm a rawness merchant.
It's
Is
probably about to
Sakamoto
be
Days?
yeah, it's probably about to be the most meatheady, fucking nasty shit I've ever seen.
Yep, yep. It was Sakamoto Days, and it was literally just nothing but cool
Yeah,
violence. Um, it, I literally have nothing to say about it other than like this shit was cool.
yeah, it was
Like
cool.
I like
Great episode
Nagumo.
this week,
He does
guys.
cool
Make
things. Yeah,
sure
yeah, I know, right?
make sure you guys have ad block off and that you leave a comment and like the
Leave a
episode.
comment, like, subscribe, for the most in-depth analysis. Um,
I haven't
I thought it was cool. He distracts him with the dice, and then he cuts him with his neato little
yeah.
multi-tool thing. Nagumo's cool. That's all I have to say about it. Also, I don't know why, but I liked that the to be continued was on the page before the last page. I don't know why I liked that, but I liked that. But I literally have nothing else to say about it other than that was raw.
Great
Oh,
conversation.
I guess we should probably say we should probably talk a little bit about Undead Unluck because people are probably going to ask why it all of a sudden isn't on either of our lists because
Wait,
it's been on our list for like weeks.
oh wait, never mind, never mind. I was gonna say I thought I heard something about Sakamoto Days getting in like a leak about an anime, but then I remembered that I looked into that account and it's probably fake as fuck. So never
Probably fake as hell. Okay, yeah, well,
mind.
I'm sure it'll get one eventually. It's been going on for too long to just not ever get one.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Undead Unluck, at least for me, was not in here this week because I have officially run out of patience. I'm very tired now, and I'm not interested in gathering more people.
What feels really weird is that the one character I was like pretty excited to see the fetch quest for just kind of ended in one chapter.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the Wheeze, or I don't know how to say her name, Juiz. Um, her whole little side quest was almost like nothing at all.
Yeah, I
That
liked the part about the 100 duels because obviously that was like the reference to how many loops that she's gone through, and then the last
yeah,
one, she wins by utilizing unluck. That was really cool, and then it just sort of ended. Um, it reminded me of like the Billy stuff a while ago, and it's just like undead unlocks fast pacing can sometimes be a blessing and a curse. Now in this loop, she hasn't manifested injustice yet, so maybe there's more to come with that, like
yeah. I'm
the
sure
Billy stuff. But
it'll be like a dire straits moment, and she'll manifest it right at the last minute to save everyone, and it'll be very cool. But
yeah,
I don't know how many more of these fetch quests I have in me, dude. Like, oh, we're going to get
maybe
top, and it's like, okay.
maybe what they'll do now that I think about it is they're gonna like embroil multiple fetch quests in like one arc, which would be great.
I would
Like
love
maybe
that. Anything to speed this
yeah.
up because it's really draining. Like, I don't know. They gave us some crumbs of Andy, and I thought we were finally going somewhere, and then it was like, no, no,
They just
we're
sort of
right
move
back
on.
to the fetch quests, baby.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's why Undead Unluck did not make it in to the list this week, because we're very tired of fetch
yeah.
quests.
Sorry guys, I still do. I love Undead Unlock though. So
Yeah, it's still good. I still enjoy reading it, but I'm just kind of like, oh, the enthusiasm is waning for me at least. All right, so the next we've got Chainsaw Man, which was the brand new chapter that just dropped yesterday. I thought it was good. I thought it was sufficiently like messed up.
I
I
thought it
enjoyed it.
was good. Yeah, I just keep running into this issue where like the Chainsaw Man chapter drops, so I open it up, and then I blink and it's over, and I'm like,
Yeah, it really does feel that way, doesn't it? Like nothing really like happens substantially.
yes, like it was good, like I enjoyed it, but like not a lot happened. Uh, if I had slept and had also eaten today, maybe there's something you can cook with the panels of like a Chainsaw Man attacking Chainsaw Man, considering part two's whole thing is about identity and stuff, which is cool, but I don't got anything right now.
I liked him like freaking out. I really liked his
Yeah,
just absolutely going ape shit. I really liked him cutting through himself to cut through the other guy too.
yeah,
That was cool. I like the whole like sequence of him cutting them both in half and then crawling on top of his body to like mangle him more and start eating him is like fucked up. It's
yeah.
super gross. Um, and then the little bit at the end where Denji's like, I'm officially just gone ape shit mode now and I don't give a fuck about anything anymore.
Mhm,
I like that too. I imagine this will not be a permanent change, you know, because he's obviously probably not actually telling Nagisa to just go away and not be around him anymore. But I like
mhm.
the snapped moment. And I like the little bit. It almost kind of reminded me of when Gojo gets purple for the first time after he comes back, and he's like, "I actually don't
Yeah,
give a
yeah.
fuck about the girl dying." Honestly, I kind of liked his bit about like I recognize that it's fucked up that I'm outside my burning house and all the charred corpses of my
Mhm,
dead pets, and I just don't care. And I
mhm.
was like, I like that. That's sufficient. Like I'm regressing to a fucked up little
Yeah,
gremlin moment.
it's cool stuff. I'm excited to see what comes next. When the 3 panels release next
Yeah,
t
when he
Tuesday.
walks another
Yeah,
14 steps next week.
yeah,
Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I'm hopeful that some cool stuff comes out of it.
yeah.
And speaking of cool stuff, we can now pivot over to the goat,
Can
Kagurabachi.
we finally talk about real shonen?
We can talk
Jesus
about
Christ.
peak shonen now. This chapter
Wow,
fucked. It was so cool.
this really is a quick episode.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was Christmas break. Nothing
Yeah,
happened. Nothing to talk
yeah.
about. Nothing announced.
Kagurabachi, man. Kagurabachi's got it.
If Kagurabachi gets canceled, that's going to be like the biggest flub.
It's like
I think
15 9/11s.
Yeah, I think like since I started this show at the very least, there hasn't been even Phantom Seer has not would not have been like a flub on the level of this if this gets canceled. Because this is some peak shonen shit right
Yes.
here. This is
This
so good.
this is Kagurabachi and chill, as that one comment.
Yeah,
So
that was the oh my God. Yeah, so just to just to put it in perspective for everyone, we got a comment like a week or two ago, and someone I don't remember who it was, but they said Shonen and Chill, more like Kagurabachi and Chill, and I was like,
yes.
yes.
I don't know if that's slander of the podcast or if it's a joke. Either way,
I
it's
don't know.
great.
Either way, it's
Either
my
way, it's
favorite comment I've
fantastic.
ever received. It's so good.
Yeah. I love it. Thank you. If you're watching this, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I remember
Yes,
Zen messaged me very excitedly about the comment, and I
I
was like,
was
"That's good."
laughing my ass off. It was so good. And yeah, it's just
Chihiro's
cool.
really good, man. Chihiro's great, actually.
Yes, I like Chihiro a lot.
From someone I expected to not really find that compelling, based on his initial,
Yeah, chapter one really doesn't do him any favors, does it?
yeah, he's actually quite good. Um, there is some concern for him, like putting on what feels like kind of a tough guy act in front of Char,
Well, yeah,
because his
because you know he
body is
wants to.
ravaged.
Yeah, he wants her to feel safe and all that stuff.
He's too sweet for his own good, man.
And I do like that she has like a very minor amount of healing that she can
Hmm.
do. Like it doesn't heal
Yeah,
him very much, but it does take some of the pain out of his hand because you can see him.
healing, healing does not seem to be commonplace in this world. Also, um, I'm not gonna really worry about her just like healing everything all the time because, like you said, her healing doesn't seem that powerful. Secondly, I don't think Chihiro would allow a child to be forced into the horrors of combat to heal all the time.
Yeah,
So,
well, because I think like you know thematically rescuing her from these people who are ruining her life to you
mhm,
forcibly utilize her ability would not be any
mhm,
different than her being violently forcibly conscripted into the army
yeah,
to be a field medic against her
mhm,
will. I don't see that happening. I think realistically um, they probably won't be telling people that she can do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or if people already know, because some of the people know about like her history or whatever, it'll probably stay pretty quiet. Because
Or it'll be a thing where Chihiro's like people are like, "Oh, we can use her abilities for good," and Chihiro will be like, "Fuck off, man. What are you
yeah,
talking about?"
absolutely not. She's a kid. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that too. And it kind of mirrors him a little bit too, because he lost his dad when he was super young. Um,
Yeah.
and then he kind of joined all this shit to get revenge, but then at the same time, if you're living for that purpose of just doing all this stuff to kill the people who killed your dad, did you really have a choice in the matter in the grand
Hmm.
scheme anyway of what you wanted to do? So I could see that. The fight with Sogo and the dudes, I thought I would be disappointed when they all got killed. I really wasn't. I was
I am
okay
still
with
a
it.
little bit, to be honest with you. They did a job a little bit.
They did job. They totally jobbed to him. Um, but I thought I would be more like, oh man, like it's already done. But I think the way that they did it with him kind of applying the sword differently based on what he saw Chihiro do and like the plans that Chihiro did against him, and he kind of reapplied that to his own abilities. And then obviously the panel with him catching the sword back in his mouth is so fucking
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I am a little disappointed about that, but the rest is still great, so it's okay.
And I really, really, really like the final page. Just the page of
I know, it's crazy.
them taking one step toward each other, and then all that you see is the aura of their like
It's
after
so
trail. It's
crazy, man.
it's so good. Presentation has always been something Kagurabachi has been really, really good at. Just like
Hmm.
visually being unique in the way that it shows stuff happening. Like the last chapter, obviously, that everyone was talking about for a while, where he's literally in the background of the panels of the
Hmm.
people talking, like killing people, with nobody noticing it because he's just going crazy. Was really cool. Again, here, like it, it's borderline. I don't want to say cinematic, but it has those kind of elements to it, where it's very clearly trying to be visually striking, and I think it's very successful at
Hmm.
doing that.
Kagurabachi's good. If you're not reading it, you're not living right.
Yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't at this point. Like, a lot of hate feels forced. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm just saying like it's good. it, it's hard to look
Motherfuckers,
at this and then look at the other stuff that people gas up and be like, really? Like,
I was gonna say, yeah, motherfuckers out here reading New Age Exorcist and in greens and shit, Shadow Eliminators, but they won't read Kagurabachi, man.
yeah, no. If you're reading Greens and Shadow Eliminators and not Kagurabachi, like, seek professional help. I don't know what to tell you about that. Like, you know,
My note for greens was okay.
yeah, I have nothing to say about Greens ever. It's just
My
fine.
my, my note my note for Shadow Eliminators was a shrug emoji.
I mean, you're not wrong. Like, not to be mean, that's somebody's work right there, but you're not wrong.
Yes,
Um,
it's okay.
yeah, I don't know. It is what Kagurabachi is peak. This peak fiction. Read it because if it gets canceled, I'm blaming all of you. How about that?
My note for Blue Box was good.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like a week after a holiday and then leading
Yeah.
into another holiday, where it's like the
Yeah.
obligatory 1 week between your vacations where nobody's really working. Um, not too
Yeah.
exciting. Kagurabachi was the only one that kind of really got a big reaction out of me. But hopefully once they get back to the swing of things, we'll get some more exciting chapters instead of just
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
It happens sometimes. I mean, yeah, weekly serialization and there's breaks. You can't hit him out of the
Yeah,
park every time, except for
yeah.
Kagurabachi.
Yeah, well, yeah, apparently except for Kagurabachi, which can always do that. But this is, yeah, on a weekly series like serialization format, especially when it's off a break onto a week and then
Hmm.
back onto a break, like people phoning it in. It's all right, it happens. And I guess that's that. I guess it's like maybe the shortest episode in the show's history, but there's really nothing else to talk about.
Let's
So,
aim for shorter next week.
new record, 20-minute
Yeah.
episode. All right, well then I guess we'll cap it off with the old thank you for tuning in to this short holiday episode of Shonen and Chill. I'll put a
Make
little Santa
sure
hat on everybody, and
make sure you watch Zenrotto's JJK Phantom Parade content.
yeah, do that. You can't actually reroll for the characters that I told you to anymore because they're gone, but
Go back in time and reroll for those characters.
You should have already done it when I told you to do it. That's what I'm gonna say. Is that
If you're a
you're late to
real
the
Zen
party.
head, you should have watched that video on release.
You should have already had the game installed, waiting to find out who to reroll for. Um, but yeah, all right, we'll catch you guys in the next one.